He like only played Jax, quite literally.
Yeah,
Why
that's all he
why
was on the
why would
server
you
team.
fucking travel halfway? Oh my god, you got Marcin Wolski.
Marcinovski.
Dude, that's how Marcin talks. Nah, but they have. I'm literally reading it in Selfie's voice. I wonder if he just cosplays Selfie. Oh my god. Wait a minute, you didn't have the Windows Activate thing yesterday.
Yeah, I changed some pieces of my computer today, so yeah. No, I replaced my motherboard on my CPU, so
Okay.
I'll lag less, I guess.
Nice. That's very good. I am so mad right
What's
now.
our
There's.
probably we're trying. Okay, I guess we're cheesing.
Oh, it was good. You could have wolfed like two more in.
Okay. Yeah.
Jarvan's an idiot.
Should be on Krugs right now.
You're dead. What?
Oh, I played so bad.
Okay. Alright. The coaching curse has struck again. It's gonna be another FF15.
No, I think this is okay. I think it's a reset though. Whatever. Leona gets the wave, I guess. Actually, I have to reset. That's what Zoom. Oh.
By the way, what is your sleep schedule?
Oh, it's fucked.
Okay.
I don't know. Last time I slept was like 20 hours ago for about 5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we should crash this
Yeah,
wave,
you should
but
have insta crashed and then recalled.
I don't know.
F key? Or just look? What's Jarvan's CS? 16. Okay. Lane state's so bad. You should just die.
Yeah, I don't know why. He called for slow push. And then he goes to Rome. That's so troll, man.
How is it that both games I've watched with you now? Yeah,
I'm actually just dead here.
yeah. Why type though?
Yeah, I don't know. Just a little frustrated, I guess.
Is that Jed?
Yeah, definitely.
So Karma has no prio, you have no prio, and Sedge is invading.
Yep.
Even though Gromp or Krugs and Raptors are up. What the fuck am I
You guys are
watching?
pretty big camp lead though. If you just played the game properly, I think the game would be okay.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I dropped axes. Okay, shift it out.
Uh. Holy shit. Azrael doesn't have hands. Uh. What's the CS deficit?
4.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Azrael sucks. Nah, I mean, yeah, the game's probably fine then. What are his items? Hit tab again? Sorry.
Machine
Oh,
kill.
okay, okay. Oh, okay. You just hold him
Yeah,
in
we can win
lane.
this, yeah.
Yeah, you hold him in lane. Jesus, what the fuck is she?
What the fuck,
Holy
man?
fucking shit. No, no, no. All right. Yeah, yeah. Just play right side of the lane. Stop going into the middle.
Okay.
And just ward the brush. You just want to lock the. Yeah, you just want to lock Ezreal in the lane. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But, like, you see Sejuani top, and you see that Jarvan's not around there. Okay, he's in mid. Maybe look at Karma. She dead? She RW'd, but I don't know.
Wait.
Your FQs suck. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, 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 no. Why would she ping go? Like, alright, stop throwing axes when Ezreal's fucking and he's constantly casting spells at the wave. Like, the axes aren't important because he doesn't have tier. So just freeze the wave on him because Jarvan can't come bot and Akali's pathing top. So just freeze the wave and then he just loses. But we should have done this 30 seconds ago. I'm just waiting to see if he'll do it or not. Yeah, now we just laugh. Yeah, great. And now you wait a bit and now you just hard shove. You step aside and hard shove. Yeah. Yeah, helicopter has the right idea. Go up again. You can even fucking R, I guess, if necessary. Oh wow, he stayed. Holy shit. It's fucking. What is she doing? Pop your potions. You walked into Thresh's thing.
Oh, I got the cash out. Yeah, I should pop pots. But I think it's okay.
No one's doesn't seem like anyone's actually trying to play intelligently in lane. Like I'm even referencing mid and stuff. It feels like everything's so arbitrary and random. Like you could have froze 30 seconds sooner than you did, and which case, like prior to, like as soon as Jarvan shows up in mid, you can initiate the freeze because you're trying to determine the Ezreal's range as a player, and we've already seen that he's a pretty big donkey. Because he doesn't have hands to hit his skill shots, and he only had a 4 CS advantage over you despite everything that happened.
True, yeah.
In a spot like this, getting one plate's fine, and then just you want to, huh?
Do I push the next wave here? Like hard push or?
You can try to, but track Thresh through Fog of War, obviously. Things get a little bit awkward as long as Leona passes back down bottom, you should be okay. Because Sedge is in close proximity and Jack's just warded top.
If I frozen him again here.
Yeah, but he has tier now, so it's not as effective, but it's still better than nothing.
Okay.
Because the guy is like a over-aggressive donkey, and the Thresh likes to throw abilities, so.
I want to defend that.
Nah, just freeze. There's no reason to defend it. Pop potions. Just pop both now, I guess. Okay. And you guys can just play ping pong. There's no synergy between like you and Leo and stuff, and there's no synergy with Ezreal or Thresh, so it's very unpleasant to watch.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Holy shit.
All right. Well, my R actually didn't go off.
I can't tell if you're doing the inhale thing at the start of the fight or during. Are you aware that you do
it? At the start. I don't know. Not really.
Okay. 'Cause I would associate that with anxiety or like uncertainness of what's gonna happen. The Autumn actually does it at the start of every team fight. It's really funny. There's a lot of players.
I probably do too, then.
Yeah. There's certain people that do it, but I think that it has to do with not knowing actually how the fight's gonna pan out, because you'll notice that you won't do it if it's something really basic or obvious.
Probably reset. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why anyone's in river. What does he say? Might need to change Sejuani's parts. It's so funny. He says it's so nonchalant. The FF15 curse strikes again. Oh, shit. Alright, so like right now, why are you shoving?
I was gonna probably shove another wave then move topside for Herald, but
But you
game's
guys
just
can't.
stable and
Well,
just freeze.
ask yourself, ask yourself honestly. Can you guys win a Herald fight?
Okay. Finally, huh? Probably not, unless they really fuck it up. So.
So realistically, you can't. You can't win a Herald, right?
Yeah.
And then it's also going to take you like 30 seconds to get there. So you can't even account for what they're doing. So you're. I mean, I'm gonna talk with you a lot after the game because.
Okay.
This is like 2 games in a row where even though the game quality is really shit, you have a lot of patterns or habits. Tony Top's gonna kill you.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Tony Top, dude.
Holy shit, he flashed. I don't know, I get demoralized so quickly when I do shit like this. Makes me not want to try, I don't know.
I picture that there's someone on the planet right now that's actually controlling Sedge. They're fucking somewhere. Oh shit. 13.7 billion years since the fucking Big Bang to produce this specimen. Oh man. Oh shit. Oh man. Oh my god. Oh Jesus. AC again. Hit tab. What's all the CS? Oh my god. Why is it so close on NA?
Well, it's not very good. And I've taken a lot of camps.
No, I don't mean just you. I mean every lane. Like, Aurelia is actually ahead of Jax.
Oh yeah, no idea. People just don't do things with kills.
Well, he's dead. Like, trade kills like this will end up being beneficial. So, is this, so break it down for me. Is this what happens on an NA? People will get really big leads, and then people will turtle, and no one FFs, and then, eventually come back.
Yeah. It's definitely a classic NA.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, especially, it depends on the time of the queue, right? Like, right now, it's like, I think it's the worst time to queue.
I think this is the best time to queue. I'm having the time of my life.
No one plays with their brain on. Everyone just monkeys around. And you get games with like 2 diamond players, 1 player with like 1000 LP, and a couple grandmasters.
I like this.
Usually, I queue at a.
Why did she flash? Oh, Sedge is thinking something. I like this. This is my
We
favorite
looking,
part.
boys? All right, not today.
You can just blue trinket Baron soon. Okay, never mind. Sweaty.
I think it's the next.
Yeah, yeah. That's All right, I'm gonna stop record, but we're gonna talk about stuff.
Yeah.
The gameplay quality is just shit, and it seems like it's gonna be just a crapshoot no matter what. Because this is the second game now where it's been really bad, and even if you have a good game, what I'm imagining is, in terms of a good game, is a bad game for the opponents, and so it's still a pretty fucking bad game. So it would actually probably
Yeah.
be difficult for you to get an actual game to talk about. I'm just gonna share a screen with
Yeah,
you.
unless we're queuing at like in the evening, Eastern time. It's usually like the only time you'll get good games on a day.
Let me share a screen with you. All right, so I'm just gonna casually play this fucking VOD, but mostly just want to talk with you. So this is the first time I've heard of you, right? When you showed up in my chat yesterday.
Yeah.
So then ultimately, what are you trying to do with League, or why get the coaching type stuff, right? Because even in the session, it seems very nonchalant.
Yeah. It might be because I'm tired, but I want to make OSG this year. So
Scouting
I'm
grounds?
sure you know what that is, right? Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And you can just camp your slot right now and probably get it.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So then what's the next step?
And then, I don't know, pro probably or academy, I guess.
Okay. Well, Scouting Grounds in and of itself doesn't, like, your performance at Scouting Grounds doesn't always inherently translate to whether or not you get picked up or anything like that.
Right.
Branding and networking tends to do that for you because NA is sort of like a talent show rather than skill. Although maybe people will start looking for skill type stuff. The thing about watching you play though, I don't mean any offense by this. There's nothing that stands out or that's special.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is I can't tell the difference between you and a random 300 LP player, even though you're top 20. And the other thing about top 20, top 50, top X on NA is that it's begun to lose its flavor more and more in recent years.
Oh yeah,
Because,
Season 9.
yeah, especially in Season 9. But even in recent years, pro players not really caring that much. The amount of one-trick ponies that just infect and infest the ladder. The amount of people that just don't care, the win traders, the fucking elo boosters. I mean, there's so much wrong with the ladder that a rank alone doesn't necessarily equate to something all that well. When I'm watching your mouse, I mean, obviously it's not like fucking slow or bad or anything like that, but you're an ADC player. But there's a lot of sporadic movement. And what I mean by sporadic movement, I mean movement that doesn't seem to have defined thought behind it. And I know that to random Twitch chat viewers, they probably won't understand what the fuck I'm talking about with that, but hopefully you do. In the sense that it seems like you're sort of reacting on the fly to a lot of situations rather than identifying possible scenarios that can unfold within the next like 5-10 seconds and then playing them out. Like, okay, if they do this, then I do this. You know, if they do option A, I respond option A. If they do option B, I respond option C. If they do option C, I respond option Z or something. And then you play it out, because when you watch pro ADC players, the mouse, I mean, well, not even just pro ADC players, pro players in general that are elite status anyway, you can sort of see sentience in their mouse and the way that they click. Another cool thing about the click is the hover. And what I mean by the hover is like when the mouse will slowly, like, it'll slowly come to a stop in between an action before rapidly picking up pace again, usually right at the break point of whether it's like an animation cancel or another input that has to come in and yada, yada, yada. So this is 2 games that I watched you now, and like even in this game, you see, let's just look at the brush. There is no conceivable way they beat you, right? And even if you anticipate that Jarvan's coming, he's not coming yet. And even if he was coming, you can still outplay him because the ward is really good. So even in this moment, there's no reason not to still be hitting them, even if you're making the argument against Kleptomancy procs. Because the other thing that you have to consider is that you get first access to the lane. So what you should do is, if your mouse is fast enough and you're not handicapped, and in the sense of like the speed at which you can move your screen, you whip your screen down, you check the lane state, you check all the minions' HP, and then you evaluate, maybe if I hold Ezreal and Thresh here 3 more seconds, I get 3 melee minion XP and they miss it all, which is then really, really fucking big. But you're not even thinking to do that. So you miss out on auto attacks inside of this trade, you miss out on damage foresight, you don't seem to be thinking about the options that all 4 champions can do. You seem to be living in the moment. And then you don't look at the minions, which it's a nuance and it's only 2 games, so I'm not going to fucking hold it against you. The bigger problem then arises with your spacing, what pockets you're playing inside of the lane, why are you playing them relative to the enemy champion. It seems like you're sort of going with the flow and you're not aware of like what synergy can exist, but rather you're playing the matchup to play the matchup, but you don't know the extent of the matchup. Like, if you play versus Ezreal Thresh a ton of different times, obviously the Threshes and the Ezreals are going to react differently because you're always playing against different players, right? So you'll choose the same lines, and it'll work against Thresh 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then against Thresh 5, 6, and 7, it doesn't work. But because it worked against Thresh 1, 2, 3, and 4, you continue doing it because you chalk it up to something else that isn't actually important. And then the higher up that you go and the better that you're trying to become, the finer details become more important. So like inside of this lane, it's so obvious what they're going to do. Right. So obvious, right? And
I think I just got distracted because Leona pinged on the way, and then I was like, we don't win if J4 hovers, right? So I for some reason.
Well, why even hit that minion? You can't get level 2 before them.
Yeah.
Right? Why do you even throw this axe? Why are you standing right here? Why are you not where Leona is? And then because Ezreal's being a donkey and he's just auto-attacking off cooldown and Thresh doing what he's doing, just let the wave come into you. It's perfectly fine. Because you've already botched. And then right here, you issue another auto, you get hit by this. And then this is a spot where just don't even use summoners. Just die. And the reason for just dying here is it's better to probably have your summoners because your Sedge is going to path bottom. So if you die and just start running back to the lane, if Ezreal stays and he doesn't have TP, right? He's running heal in this fucking game, right?
Yeah.
He's running heal. Okay. So he's running heal in this game. So because he doesn't have teleport, if you get back to the lane in time and Sejuani's right side, you know that J4 did red to failed gank bot to slow pathing left, which means that Sedge is on the right-hand side, you return to bottom lane, you still have your summoners, and Ezreal's locked into the lane without a mana item. He doesn't have tier. And what is he going to do? Stay for Sheen? Well, now you've locked him into the lane, and thus you can actually mitigate some of the damage that he dealt to you because you can probably end up getting a wave up on him, and then potentially even a turret plate. So even if he gets the first blood gold or he gets the first blood assist gold, you can still take advantage of the current lane state, but instead you elect to flash and heal. And I mean, they're even playing it bad, so it doesn't end up being atrocious because this Ezreal sucks. Thresh isn't doing anything. And then right here, it's irrecoverable, the lane. That's the word that someone in Twitch chat used yesterday, but like to just basically describe it simply,
I just have to crash this.
You have to instantly crash it.
Yeah.
You have to be running ahead of the minions.
Slow push for some reason. I should have just known better though.
Yeah, but you should never interact with your fucking teammates. Like, you should probably just mute all and never interact. You shouldn't even probably play with name tags. Because the reality of the situation is that the skill discrepancy between like, Challenger on NA doesn't mean anything. There is literally tiers within Challenger, right? That just depends on the players, which is really, really, really sad. Challenger in NA is not very static. And so it's a really shitty thing where you have this Leona, but maybe if you have 10 different Leonas, everything is just dramatically different. And it has nothing to do with necessarily player preference or style or fucking whatever. It just has to do with the fact that NA arrives at things through very, very different means. Because there's not like a baseline rudimentary level that you have to sort of break through in terms of a threshold before you get into the upper echelon of games. And that is also a byproduct of all the one tricks, all the elo boosting, all the fucking win traders, the lack of pro players that care about solo queue, the lack of synergy, the fucking egos, the culture. There's just a million things that fucking infest it. So you should probably just play with nameplates off and stuff. I mean, when you typed it, I got really fucking frustrated because there's just no point talking to these people. Like already, you know, as this wave was coming in.
Oh, I should just push the. Sorry, no, I was really upset with myself here. I should just push this instantly. This really fucks up the way.
Yeah, it does. And then Leona randomly roams. What,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what is she thinking? I need to get into her mind right now. What is she thinking? What the fuck is she thinking? Like, this is... She's somewhere on the planet.
This continent, most likely, yeah.
Yeah, the wave's not gonna crash, but I gotta run mid lane here because I see the gank opportunity.
What gank opportunity? Look at Akali. She's playing left pocket, right? She's fucking on her half of the lane. Now, I can't see the minion HP, right? But you should probably take a look at it when Leona starts doing this because maybe she's just a fucking savant that, you know, sees something that we don't. But then Karma's fucking warding. Like, there's no gank in mid.
Yeah.
It's just a random fucking decision because he has his left hand in his bag of Dorito chips and he's like, I'm gonna go mid. And he's gonna flip this fucking coin 100 times and like 40 times it's gonna work on NA. So, oh god.
It's Alicopter. Do you know Alicopter?
No, I don't know Alicopter. I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't know anything.
He just permanently coin flip roams like
Okay.
level 3
Without any sentience. So,
playstyle.
so you lose the game now.
Yeah.
So at this point, I mean, you could have avoided this on your own by
100%, yeah.
running forward past the wave and pushing, right? But then right here, you lose the lane. So all that you should do is either try to play in Fog of War furthest away from Thresh, like 1500 range away, and hope that they unlock this and push it into you. But if they don't do that, you should just go and get Scuttle Crab if it's still up.
Yeah.
That's the only option that you have. And then you end up dying, and then as you get hooked, you breathe in, which is really weird, as if you don't fucking realize that you're going to die or something. And I'm attributing it to anxiety rather than just a tick, because I don't know a fucking tick where someone just inhales and then holds their breath and then lets it out. Maybe
Not
it could
a tick,
be.
probably just frustration. I don't know.
So
It was 100% avoidable though. It's not like that was just my fault.
right here again, you're not even looking to fight them. So you and Leona should just be trying to push and crash as fast as you can, but then Sejuani's inting, so it kind of sucks. So then at that point, you want to build up this wave and the next wave and then try to get the crash off on it. But then if Thresh is sentient, then he just flays and he uses his shield and stuff, and everything feels bad.
Yeah.
So I think, where's the part of the game? Yeah, I mean, this was fucking stupid. You're inting right here, too. Like, they have a freeze, and Leona's not near you. You just can't be doing what you're doing. But it seems like you refuse to play properly just because you're frustrated. And I totally get that. I do this, too. You know, I think most players do it, so you don't have to fucking feel bad about doing it. It's just the reality of the situation is that you shouldn't do it. But then knowing it and doing it are two different things. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the fucking handshake. So this right here, you're losing. This idiot has no mana item, no teleport, right? And he already hit a minion. So the second that he hits the minion, I'm just like, okay, well, this guy's a fucking donkey. He's just going to give the wave to me right here. So the second that I know that he's just going to give the wave to me right here, then just never throw an axe. It doesn't matter that your passive isn't building up because you have bigger things to gain. The bigger thing to gain is eventually zoning him out of several hundred gold of CS, and so the net difference between you two is larger than if you both consent to passively farming with one another and then you end up outplaying him and securing a kill. But ultimately, all of this stuff won't matter all that much. Your mindset and approach will matter a lot more than anything else that is happening in this game or the last game or whatnot. You have to genuinely be frustrated with your own mechanical foundation. And what I mean by that is the day and age of like casual NA resident players like playing the game, getting high ranked, and then eventually through the act of God, like there's some academy player, there's some challenger player that's been around too long, and so teams just stop picking them up, and so you get a chance. Doesn't fucking cut it, because you're eventually just going to be replaced by a Korean, or you're going to be replaced by some fucking trade offer, or you're suddenly going to become the guy that gets replaced 1-2 years down the line, right? So your approach fundamentally needs to be different from that of a normal NA resident culturally. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm really sorry, you suck mechanically. And so,
Okay.
but you have to actually believe, like, you don't have to believe me, you have to believe it yourself, in the sense that you're not anything special comparatively to, like, an elite ADC player, right? Like Doublelift or Teddy or Deft or any of them. And so it doesn't matter if you can be the 20th best ADC in NA, right? The 15th best ADC in NA is not something to gloat about. It's not a prize. You don't go and brag that you got a D+ in the special class, right? So
The League of Legends NA class.
the League of Legends NA class, sure. So you have to hold yourself to a standard as if the people that you're competing with are not the people that are in your region. They're the people that are like the world stage. That's how you inherently get better. You don't compete with your fucking peers. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, or you're vying for the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. And if you think that it's okay, or that you want to just simply be the smartest person in your room, also the while not realizing that the room that you're in isn't really that special, then that's a fundamental problem in itself.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know really what else to... I mean, some are...
Dude, like, how would I, like,
Yeah.
would there be, like, anything you recommend to, like, changing that culture, that mindset?
Well, like, for instance, you're friends with some players that, like, nothing against City, right? City's been talking about Scattering Grounds for 3 years.
Okay.
Okay? And I don't know, maybe City's in chat right now, or he's watching this. I think he's a sub on my stream or something. There's tons of people like this. There's tons of people that are in my chat, or they're subs, or I know of them and whatnot. They've been Challenger for many, many years. Maybe they, they always talk about Scattering Grounds. They always talk about maybe playing. They always talk about Korean boot camps, and nothing fucking happens. It's all just talk. There's nothing special about that, right? Like, your region sucks, right? I always say, like, maybe even playing on, because you live in the middle of Canada, right? So maybe even playing on EUS is probably better than this server, even if you have ping. As weird as that sounds. Like, if you have like 70 ping on US versus 24 on NA, I would actually just say play on US.
I've played on US. It's like 100 to 110 usually.
That's awful.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I mean, the other thing is boot camping, right? There's so many challengers here right now. I mean, Metaphor just left a couple of days ago. But, like, Metaphor is another example, right? Metaphor got reasonably high on Korea. He spiked around when the Challenger ladder had the bug. I think he hit, like, 500 something, right? But I think he left at 87 LP after, like, 1,200 games. That would never fucking happen on North America. He's not going to play 1,200 games and leave at 87 LP. Because he arrived here coming off 1,000 LP on NA. And Metaphor is actually pretty good, I think, for NA standards especially. Like, he's definitely better than some of the random NA Academy players. So hopefully maybe he'll end up getting some opportunity or chance, which is probably not something that I would have said about him like a year ago or something. But that's just something to talk about in terms of regional differences. So like it really sucks if you can't play on EU West. It's not impossible to improve while playing on NA because obviously players have done it. But you have to culturally break away from, I guess, what you come to know. When I see that, you know, like your friends list or whatever, that's a red flag to me. Because it suggests to me that your social networking or your immediate circle are people that don't really try to get better. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's toxic in and of itself when trying to improve. And it doesn't. I'm not saying that like City or some of the other people that I talked about in like yesterday's stream or maybe we'll message you on Discord about are bad players or something. But they're a very far cry from LCS or actual pro players. But again, I already said that that's not the metric to even really judge by, because LCS players aren't necessarily even something special when you compare them to the world stage. So like your ADC list that you compare yourself to is it's like fucking you have like Teddy, you have Deft, you have Uzi, you can have fucking you can have Imp, you can have a Ruler, you can have fucking Perks even if you want, you can have Double Lift, you can have fucking Sneaky, you can have Forgiven, you can have Reckless, you know what I mean? Like this is the list you compare yourself to. Right, and then it keeps going, so it keeps going down. Right, you do not compare yourself to Auto and fucking what other NAs are there? You don't. You don't. FBI, Deftly. What other NA?
Arrow? It's pretty washed.
Keith,
I can't even think of any.
Apollo. No. Like, I'm not saying that these guys are bad, right? But they're not this. It's a whole different beast, right? So when you're fucking sitting there and you're trying to be objective with yourself, yeah, maybe you are below some of these players, okay? But that's not what you do. You just throw any list out that includes your name and these players, and you just throw yourself to the bottom of this list. And you figure out whatever fucking way you can start developing ways to climb it. Because you don't get better by trying to catch up to players. You get better by trying to think about where that player is going to be a couple of weeks or months from now and then chasing after that. Because that's how you eventually go side by side, right? But for you, it's obviously going to be a much longer process. I'm just trying to tell you, like, the path that you'll eventually have to walk. Because Scouting Grounds is a shit show. It's basically a glorified popularity contest, as sad as it is, right? Naturally. And then sometimes people don't even get a fair... Like, there were several people, right, that were at Scouting Grounds that they just didn't even get picked up. That's happened several times now. And so Scouting Grounds is more so about like making connections and fucking being friendly and yada, yada, yada. And it really sucks that that's the way that it is in NA. And so even if you do well at Scouting Grounds, you get picked up by a team, but then you're the new sheep. And so you have no leverage, you have no power, you have no brand, you have nothing really going for you. And you get thrown into an organization, or you get thrown in with a management that might not necessarily have any fuck all clue what they're actually doing. And then you get pulled in every which direction thinking that it's going to be beneficial for you, all the while not really knowing if it is or isn't. And so it's better to just define yourself to your own fucking rules and follow and chase after this shit.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean, you can always message me on Discord. I mean, summer's fucking almost over. Otherwise, I would just say fly to Korea and boot camp because it's really fucking cheap and there's a lot of people here. But, I mean, there really is. There's quite a few NA challengers and EU challengers that are here right now.
Yeah.
Not like at my house. Well, some are at my house, but a lot of them just live nearby.
Okay. Yeah. I'm probably just gonna stick to queuing when pros queue, and then do what you said. Probably try to fix my mentality.
I mean, you know, chase other metrics too. I mean, I don't know how often you open up like VODs of your VOD compared to like a pro Korean streamer, but like when Korean Academy players, so like the sub support on BBQ, right? When I coached BBQ, his name was Rebel. He was 16 years old. I've never seen any pro gamer watch more VOD footage of players, like first-person VOD, like Twitch streams and stuff, and replays than him. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And he just keeps steadily going up the ladder, like several hundred LP. And climbing on Korea ladder is, like over years is impressive in itself, especially given his age. But he also implements stuff really fast. Like I showed him about F keys and stuff, and then his hand was too small to use F keys, so he remapped them instantly. And then all that he would do is he would sit in sandbox mode for hours, and he would practice animation cancels on champions. But then in addition to that, he would then go into customs and just spam F keys. Or he would go into normals and spam F keys. And those are the, like, that's just one example. And then there's so many other Academy Korean players that they take their practice so much more serious when trying to mimic and copy elite tier pros, because that's how they get better. There's not one Korean Academy player I've ever fucking seen that doesn't religiously watch the LCK pros, first person views. There's literally just not one, which is why shit tends to spread like wildfire in Korea. Like, for instance, F keys in Korea became very, very popular, and all it really takes is like one player to start doing it. It has to be the same way for you when it comes to practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Message me on Discord if anything, you know, you want to talk about or whatever. Sorry that both the games were shit, but I mean, there's still a lot that was, you know, able to be talked about. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Yeah. Good luck with everything.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care.